Hey guys, it's Chandra, and I had somebody make a comment on one of my videos that they had bought a 6x6 paper pad and now they were kind of kicking themselves because they didn't know what to do with it. I don't do too many mini-minis. Something I don't know. I kind of like them, but I kind of don't like them. They're perfect for events. You know, like if you have a birthday party or something, or even to use up the wallets that you get. Like when you get school pictures or sports pictures or, you know, things like that. So I decided to design a mini album. It's 5x5, the pages. And so the cover's 5.5 by 5.5. And I haven't put the cover together yet, and I've only made one page. So what I'm going to do is go through, and I decorated this one page just so you can see what it looks like. And so I thought we would work on this together. And so here is the page. This is a pocket here, and I haven't made the tag yet because I'm going to use the scraps to make the tags for this. But here's a pocket, and it opens up like this. So the binding will be here, and then when you flip it over, it has this page, and it has this like tension style binding. I don't know, I guess is what you call it. So you can slide it in there, or you can just put something in here and it'll stay, or you can stick something on the top. And I'm just using this EK Success border punch, and I pulled this stack out of my stash. It's the St. Valentine's Day stack by AC, American Crafts. And I don't know where I got this, don't know when I got it. I know I didn't get it this year, so, you know, I don't know if this paper's available, but I used it for other things, so I don't even know. I mean, I have most of it left, so I should have enough to do this. What I did do was I cut my chipboard at 5.5 by 5.5, and I chomped it up there. And then I do have my spine, which is going to be cut at, I cut this at 2 1/4, but I don't know if I'm going to leave it at that. And then by 5.5, and then I already took out 2 pages of paper. I'm going to use this one on the front, and then I'm going to use this one on the back, and so of course I'll need some on the inside as well, but I haven't got those out. And I did cut all of my paper already, so, and I just kind of made this based on the what's left. So I'm going to give you the measurements of the paper. This is 8.5 by 5, and I have 6 pages in my mini album, so you're going to need 6 of these, whatever. Then I have 6 of the 6 by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what I'm thinking today. And you need 6 of the 4.5 by 4 1/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And don't throw any of your scraps away from cutting them, because you'll end up with like 1-inch scraps. And I think these are 2.5 inch scraps. So what I did then was I cut, you're going to need 12 total, because you'll need 2 for each page, 1 by 5 inch. Okay, so that is the measurements of the paper you're going to need of the cardstock. And again, I use Recollections brand cardstock. So I have 8.5 inch at the top, and I'm going to score at 5. So again, this is the 8.5 inch at the top and by 5 inches. And I'm going to do that to all 6 pages. You're only going to see me score 5. Oh wait, what's the ones that we want to score? I'm just going in order of size. Are the 6 by 5. You're going to stick it in so that the 6 inch side is at the top. Why do I have a problem saying 6 inch? Score at 1/2 inch and 5.5. Get tongue tied. It's one of those days at work where I felt like I couldn't do anything right. So the next pieces are the 4.5 by 4 1/4. You want to stick it in so that the 4.5 inch side is at the top and score at 1/2 inch, and then at 4. Rotate it so that the 4 1/4 inch side is at the top and score at 3 3/4. Now here's the thing. If you want your pockets smaller, you can cut off the top here, and you don't have to make this 4 1/4. You can make it shorter. You can make it 2 1/4 or whatever, if you want your pockets smaller than this. You can also punch the top of this as well. first ones are the pieces that measure 5 by 1. You're going to stick it in so that the 1-inch side is at the top and score it 1/2 inch. I'm going to do that to all 12 pieces. So these are all the base pages, and we want them to open up like this. But we're not going to do anything to this part. We're just going to do to this right here. So I'm going to get those 4.5 by 4 1/4 out, and just like any other pocket that you make, you're going to cut out this square right here. So I'm going to cut to the point and cut out the triangle on all of those like that. So it's going to end up being like that. So we have all of these, and now what you want to do is flip it over, and you're going to apply tape to all of these sides there. Put the score tape on all pieces. Okay, so now you have these 1 by 5 inch pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch one side of the piece. And you want to punch all the way across. Try to make sure that it's still lined up. If you don't know how to use these punches, you see that silver spot there. You're lining up what you already have cut with that silver and then punching. Okay, so I'm going to punch one side of each of these strips. Now what you want to do is apply score tape to the flap, the outside of the flap. Okay, so now this is the 6 by 5 piece that we scored on 2 sides. I'm going to apply score tape on the 2 1/2 inch flaps. Just like that. We're going to put these pages together now. So we have the base page with the flap, and we're going to attach the pocket to this. And I'm trying to decide if I want to do a punch or not, if I want to punch this. No, I don't think I'm going to. So I'm just going to fold everything back, and now I'm going to apply it to the front. And again, you're lining up the folds with the cut edge of the paper and the folded edge of the paper. So it's like that. How I do this, I'm going to flip it over so you can see. First of all, I'm going to take off my tape backing on everything. And me personally, I don't know, to be honest with you, if it matters, but I like putting my 2 long sides down first and then this side. I just feel like this leaves an open spot here for your tag to go into and go all the way down. Now sometimes, you know, if you have this down first, it might stick on that before it gets down to the edge of the paper. I don't know. In my mind, that's how it works. So we have these. Oh no. So we're going to work on the back of the pages because this is the part that you're going to want to attach to the spine. So if my finger was the spine, this page is going to flip over, and now this part is going to be the spine. So we want to attach this 6 by 5 piece. So I'm taking off the tape backing. I'm going to fold the sides down. But because this is where the spine's going, you want to make sure that the opening is here, and these are the folded flaps. So I might rotate this just a little bit so I can line up this folded edge with the cut edge of the paper. And while I'm lining up the side here too. And then I'm just going to burnish it down. You can flip it over, and if you have any overhang here or overhang here, you can trim it off. But, so that's the pocket, and now, so now we're still going to work on the back of our pages. And this is the pocket that's on the back. So we have these little flaps here, and I'm going to miter the corners on the part where I have the tape. I'm going to peel off the tape, and I'm going to just line it up against the top. I want this folded edge of this paper to meet the folded edge of the paper pocket. I'll flip it over, cut off any that's excess, and I'm going to do the same on the bottom. Lining up this folded edge with the folded edge of the paper here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I think it's a 1/8 inch tape, and this is score tape. And you want something a little bit sticky, if I can find the end of it, so that it kind of grabs on to whatever you're sticking there. Normally you wouldn't put a tape inside of a pocket like this, but you want it to grab. So I'm putting that tape just on the side of that score mark. So when I pull this off and go down, it's going to create a nice little tension style pocket. But I don't want to do that yet because I want to put my paper down first, but I am going to lay down this 1/4 inch tape, or this 1/8 inch tape, as I'm putting these down. So you will see me do that. So we know that our pages are 5 by 5, so we know that we need the hinges to be 5 inches wide. And I believe if it's 1/2 inch, that's 1 1¼ inches for the first one, because there's a 1/4 inch gusset in the middle, right? And then you want to add 1/2 inch, you said, right? So that would be, so it was 1 1/4, so it would be 1 3/4. And then add another 1/2 inch, so that would be 2 1/4. I think that is right. We'll see. I mean Laura from following the paper trail. So I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and then flip it around and score at 1/2 inch again, and that leaves us with the 1/4 inch channel, as she calls it. So I'm going to do 1/2 inch here, 1/2 inch there. I'm going to try 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. Now we have to fold on our score marks. I think I'm going to put all the adhesive on there now, so it's not so cumbersome later, you know. Put the 1/2 inch on both sides of this, I'm sorry, the 1/4 inch tape that I'm using on both sides of this 1/2 inch flap. I'm excited when I'm editing these. So I'm going to go ahead and miter the corners here. So I'm going to put the 1/4 inch tape on that 1/4 inch channel right there. Take this 1/4 inch off, and I'm going to center it here. So that's in the center. I don't think it has to be that hard. I think if you leave it unfolded, you can eyeball it. So again, I'm taking that off, and let's see if you can eyeball it. I'm really going to burnish that down. Alright, so here's, make the spine 1 3/4 inches, because then that's going to give a 1/4 inch on each side of the hinge, because like I said, this hinge is 1 1/2, or I'm sorry, 1 1/4 it ends up being. So I'm going to make it 1 3/4, and I'm just marking 1 3/4, so then I can draw a line. So I'm going to wrap this, since this is a small mini album and I only have 6 by 6 paper. I'm not going to have enough, because this is 5 1/2. I'm not going to have enough to completely wrap it around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach, if you had a 12, would it work on a 12 by 12? So, no. So you're going to have to attach two pieces of paper together. And what I'm doing is I'm just using some score tape here on the 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And then I'm just going to try, let me zoom out so you can see a little bit more. I'm just going to try to line this up as best I can so it's kind of straight. Whoops. And I'm using that tape as kind of like a line. So I'm going to put my spine here. And you can use wet glue or score tape for this part. It doesn't really matter. It's just if you use wet glue, you're going to have to just be patient and hold it while it dries. And you can use both. You know, you can do that. It's your album. So I'm just going to put this in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect or precise or anything. I am going to use just two pieces of scrap here to find the distance between my covers and my spine, because you want two thicknesses of whatever chipboard or cover you're using, so that your album opens up a little bit easier and won't crack as much, I guess. So I always just put the perimeter of the score tape, and on the inside I use the ATG gun. So now I'm going to peel off the backing. And then I'm going to use these, like I said, these two pieces of chipboard. They're just together if you want to glue them together. I had a shim somewhere that I used all the time, but I can't find it now. So I am just going to butt this up against the shim, make sure that it's straight here and here, and now I'm going to press down. And I'm going to do the exact same to this side. I often get asked how I make my covers, how I attach my spine, my pages, so I thought I would just do another tutorial, even though I have the series Scrapbooking 101, or Mini Albums 101, that explains everything. Each video is a different subject, making the pages, making the binding, the hinges, attaching, blah blah blah. But here we go. Because I have a few new subscribers, I'm almost to 15,000, so I would like to get that is my goal for right now, and I have a giveaway when I get 15,000, and I'm trying to make sure, like, I don't want to give away stuff to somebody who's just subscribing just to get the giveaway. I want to give away something to the people who are already my subscribers. I don't want to bribe somebody to watch me. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think that I'm going to announce on the video that it's a giveaway. I think what I'm going to do is just do a video, and somewhere in the video mention that, oh, by the way, do this to enter a giveaway. You know? That's what I think. So what I did was I didn't need all that extra on the side, so I just cut it off. It doesn't have to be any specific measurement or anything. And then what I do is I fold the cardstock over, and then I run my bone folder up against that to just kind of make a good clean, crisp fold there. That's all I'm doing. And I'm, like anything else, I'm sure that there's like 1,001 different ways to do this, but this is just how I do it. And I'm going to fold now there. Now what I'm going to do is, just like on our pockets, I'm going to cut out this square, but you don't want to get too close, because then you don't want, if you get too close to that, then it's going to leave kind of a bald spot on the corner. You're going to see the chipboard. You don't want bald spots. So I'm going to leave like maybe a chipboard gap there. So just cutting out the squares. on all 4 sides. And you don't have to have this flap that long. Half an inch works fine. So I actually think I might even cut it down a little bit so that it's not that long. I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife and my ruler here because you just want half an inch, like I said. It might bubble up if you use more than that, and I don't think this ruler is very good. I think it's one of those rulers that you're supposed to like magnify what you're seeing, so like if you're in accounting or something like that. It doesn't have to be straight either. I don't know what's supposed to be magnified because I can't see it's too big. So again, that little mess up that I did when I was cutting the chipboard is not really, this piece right here where I dented into it, it's not really going to matter anymore. Okay, so now I have half an inch, and you can use glue or ATG, sticky red line tape, but you want to use something secure so that it holds. And so I put a piece on the chipboard itself and a piece on the edge of the paper, and that's my husband. He keeps on coming in and out because you have to go through my scrapbook room to get to the laundry room, and he is the laundry man. I know, I'm lucky. Plus his beer refrigerator is there, so you know, just got to go back through for that too. But for the first, I don't know, I'm gonna say 15 years of our marriage, I did the laundry and everything, and then now he's doing it, which kind of sucks because the kids are 21 and 16, so I had to do all the baby clothes. You know, you go through 3 outfits a day when they're babies. Alright, so I'm going to remove all the tape backing. You can do one side at a time if you want. You don't have to do all sides. You do want to make sure that if this backing doesn't come up good, it's because it's not burnished down right. And sometimes, see like that? I just ripped it right off because I did not burnish it down. And it's kind of funny that I just said that and that just happened. Kismet, right? Okay. Some people cut this score tape, and I don't know why, because you can do whatever you want on your mini album, but you know how there are certain things that just drive you nuts and you want to scream, just rip it! But I'm thinking maybe those are the kind of people that like don't like it not straight maybe. Okay, so again, I'm just pressing this part of my bone folder against my table and then against the chipboard here. And I'm folding that down, and then I'm going to really finish it. And maybe you want to do the long sides first and the short sides second, or, you know, whatever. I like to go down like this so that gravity is kind of helping me push, and I'm rolling my fingers against it. So now you see we'll have this little tiny piece here. Alright, stupid webcam. Maybe I should get a new camera. There you go. See this tiny little piece here? Just carefully cut that off. You just want to cut the back paper. You don't want to cut. But if I would have cut that corner too small, then you would be able to see the chipboard there, and you don't want that. Again, I'm pressing down and rolling, and pass that there. Press down and roll, and again, there's a little bit left over there. I'm going to turn off that autofocus here in a minute, and now I'm going to burn it. And you know what I forgot to do? Or did I? Yeah, I did it. Never mind. I was going to say, I forgot to put tape on the front, but I didn't. Okay, so now I'm going to take off the autofocus. Alright, so here is the covers. And like I said, they're 5.5 by 5.5. So I want my paper to be cut at 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 for the covers. I like mine to have a 1/4 inch gap around it. So that's what I'm doing. And I want to make sure that I have this Happy Valentine's Day in there. So I'm not cutting that part off. And if you want a less gap, I'm going to line it up at 1, 2, 5 3/8, which is the one big line before the 5 1/2. And I will show you here what the difference is. When you put this on here now, it's going to be less of a, let me see. It's going to be, let me get down here and just zoom in maybe. Let me do the autofocus and zoom in. So this is going to be a less of a gap here than if I did a 5 1/2 or 5 1/4. And I think I like that less on this cover here. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. I'm going to make it 5 3/8, which is the long tick mark before the 5 1/2 inch mark. Okay, and I'm not throwing any of these papers away because this is what I'm going to use, as I always do, to mat the tags. So for the cover, you can glue it on. You can use wet glue. I'm going to use ATG. I actually use the ATG from Tape Jungle. I buy it by the case. I've said this many times, but I actually think that it's stronger than the name brand ATG. I don't know why. Maybe it's my imagination or maybe it's wishful thinking. But that's what I think. So I like to do an X pattern on the paper so that it doesn't buckle. And this is the back cover. And I'm just centering that in there so that there's the same amount of distance across the back. And now I have this right here, and I'm going to wait, because I don't have any paper cut yet, that I feel would look that red and that pink. Okay, I'm going to use this scrap here. Oh, stupid autofocus. Okay, so again, the covers were 5 1/2, so I'm going to go at that tick mark before the 5 1/2, which is 5 3/8. And then, what did we say my cover was? Or the spine? What, people? Was it 2 inches? Because it's measuring out to be, oh no, it's not. Because there's that gap there. So it's measuring to be about, is it 1 3/4 of an inch? I'm going to cut this at 1 3/4 and see what it looks like because I can't tell. And that's good. I'm going to use 1 3/4 for the spine. And again, I'm placing a lot of sport tape in the middle. And I'm centering it top and bottom and on the sides of the score marks, not. There we go. Alright, so that's the outside. So now the inside needs decorated as well. And I don't know what I want to do, but I know I have to cover at least this part so I can put my binding on there. And I'm going to find a paper that I don't particularly like. Like, it's not my favorite. You know what I mean? This bird, not my favorite. And I am going to cut it at 5 3/8 again. And I'm going to use the whole 6-inch piece. And I'm going to use my score tape because I really want this to stick down because this is what my hinge is going to go on top of. And I don't want it ripped up. So I am going to tape the perimeter of this piece of paper as well as the actual album itself. And I'm going to tape the bazooka out of this. And where's the 1/2 inch? Aren't you glad I fast forwarded through some parts now? Or else you would be sitting here forever. Alright, so I'm going to do that. And now I'm just going to do some ATG. why not? Like I said, this is only my 3rd time using this stack the deck, so you can never be too careful. Alright. And I'm just going to take this off. Yeah, I thought this would be easier than my fingernail. I don't have any nails right now. Apparently, that's not easier. Okay, took all that off. Now I'm going to take this off. And you know what I am going to do? I am going to find this. Somebody pointed me to the yes, we did that. So here we go. And I guess that'll dry. I need to make sure that my album's the right side. And I'm going to put this in the middle here because this is 6 inches, so at least I know that it'll be in the center. I'm just centering it from top to bottom and trying to center it in the album. I'm going to burnish, and I'm kind of like going in the crease of the actual thing here. So that's the cover. And now, where'd my hinges go? Here we go. Oops, I gotta burnish that apparently because... And I'm gonna do the glue thing again because I want to make sure that this is centered. So basically, I guess the gist is if you use the glue, then it gives you time to move it up if it's wrong. So I am just lining up this line with the lines on my mat because I cut the cover 1/4 inch. Well, I'm just trying to eyeball it to make sure that it's... Does that look center? Does that look straight? Okay. And now I'm just opening up these flaps and I'm just pulling it down. So that is that. Now I'm going to attach my pages and I'm going to peel off the tape backing, and I guess you could put the glue on there now if you'd like, so that you can mat your pages or put your pages in there right. I'm not doing that. I stick my finger in here to try to open it up a little bit, and then I'm putting in one side and then letting it go down to the other side. Just moving it back and forth so I know it's there, and I'm going to close it and press down. And I'm going to attach all of my pages. And then I'm going to stop this video because it's an hour right now, and so basically, and I have some messing around in here too where I got up and did some stuff, but basically you can get a mini album done in probably going to take half an hour to mat it, so maybe an hour and a half. So this is a perfect last minute gift idea, I guess, for something. So I'm making sure that my pockets and my pages are the right direction, because I should have made sure my cover was the right direction before. You want to push it down, I think. That gives it better, like, so it lays flat. And the album's open. Okay, so there are my pages. I have one decorated, as you know, and then the next video will be me decorating the rest of these. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see the matting, just go to the next video. Bye.